Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the application of infrared spectroscopy. In this video lecture we will discuss both about the quantitative and the qualitative applications of infrared spectroscopy. So, absorbance is used for the quantitative analysis due to its linear dependence on the concentration. And if we talk about the quantitative analysis, then it is based on the determination of the concentration of one of the functional group of the compounds being estimated. Example, if there is a mixture of hexane and hexanol, the hexanol can be determined by measuring how much absorption is taking place by the OH band. The concentration of the hexanol may be calculated by the Beers-Lambert's law. As we have already discussed, the formula of the Beers-Lambert's law is equal to A is equal to the log I naught upon I, which can also be written as epsilon Bc, where I naught is the intensity of the incident light, I is the intensity of the transmitted light, epsilon is the molar absorptivity, and there are various methods for the calculation of this absorptivity, which we will discuss further in the lecture. C is the concentration, B is the path length, and A is the absorbance. So this absorbance can be calculated by using this formula by various methods. So what are the different methods for the calculation of the absorptivity? This absorptivity can be determined by various methods, like the first important method is Sellin and Sellout method. In this method, the instrument is set out at the desired wave number and the cell which is filled with the solution is kept in the sample beam. The reading obtained on the linear transmittance paper gives a number which is directly proportional to the value of I for the sample being estimated. So, by this cell we can obtain the value of I. Then the same cell is filled with the pure solvent and the transmittance reading is noted, and this reading provides a value for the I naught. Now, by using Beers-Lambert's law, the sample absorbance can be determined by putting the value of I and the I naught in this formula. The next important method is the empirical ratio method. In this method, we employed this method where the absorption band of the analyte are found to be very close to those of the main constituents or the internal standard. The graph is plotted either the transmittance versus wavelength, like this, the wavelength versus transmittance, or between the log T naught dash upon T naught versus concentration. And by this straight line curve we can determine the concentration. So if we see in this graph in which there is wavelength versus transmittance, and as we all know that the IR peaks are upside down, and if we consider for this peak, then the absorbance is maximum here, so the transmittance is less here. But for this same peak, at this point the absorbance is less and the transmittance is high. So we can take both of these values in the log form versus concentration, and then we can get a straight line curve which is used to determine the concentration of the compound. The next important method is a baseline method, and it involves the selection of an absorption band of an analyte which does not remain very close to the band of the other constituent present in the matrix. The value of the incident radiant energy P naught may be achieved by drawing a straight line tangent. So in this graph we are seeing the graph is between the frequency and the transmittance, and we can get a value of P naught and the P by drawing a tangent. So these are the peaks which are upside down. We can draw a tangent by using this peak, and we can get the value of P naught and the P. The P naught may be achieved by drawing a straight line tangent to the spectral absorption curve at the position of the analyte absorption band. Consequently, the transmittance P is usually measured at the point of the maximum absorption. Finally, we can get a value of P naught and the P. So, P naught upon P is plotted, the log of P naught upon P is plotted against concentration, and we can get a straight line curve, and this straight line curve is used for the calculation of absorptivity. The next important application of IR spectroscopy is studying the progress of a reaction. The rate of disappearance of a characteristic absorption band of a reactant group, or the rate of increase of the absorption band due to the formation of the sum product, helps in studying the progress of a reaction. Example, the gradual disappearance of the hydroxyl stretching frequency, which is obtained at 3600 to 3650 centimeter inverse, and the consequent appearance of the carbonyl stretching frequency, which is obtained at 1680 to 1760 centimeter inverse, can be used to study the oxidation of an alcohol to a carbonyl compound. The next important application is the detection of impurities. It is possible to determine whether a given sample of a compound is pure or not, provided the reference spectrum of the pure compound is available. In contrast with the spectrum of the pure compound, the spectrum of the crude sample is blur and not so sharp and contains many extra bands. Example, ketone as an impurity in alcohol leads to a rather poor spectrum having additional absorption band to the presence of carbonyl group. The next important application is the detection of isomers. The functional group isomerism, that is the distinction between the two functional groups, is easy to detect from IR spectra. Yet, the distinction between the positional isomers is difficult because identification of the carbon skeleton is not possible from IR spectra. IR spectra is helpful in distinguishing stereoisomers, but enantiomers cannot be distinguished by IR spectroscopy. The trans isomer is more symmetric, hence the simpler spectra than the cis isomer. The next important application is the qualitative analysis. The fingerprint region of the IR spectrum of an organic compound is very useful for establishing its identity. Two different compounds containing the same functional group may have similar bands in the functional group region, but their spectra differ significantly in the fingerprint region. Therefore, it is used in the identification of the functional group and the structure elucidation of a compound. So this is all about the application of IR spectroscopy. If you like this video, please do subscribe my channel and do share with your friends. Thank you for your time.